If your team isn't taking you seriously yet, it's not random. It's usually because of a few patterns you don't even realize you're showing. And once your team sees those patterns, they decide how seriously to take you. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly what those are and how to fix it. So let's start with this first one, because it's the one that's driving most of the others, even if you haven't connected the dots yet. The first pattern is you don't fully believe you belong in the role yet. This is the one nobody says out loud. A lot of managers aren't being taken seriously because somewhere underneath it all, they're not totally sure they should be taken seriously yet either. And it shows in how you carry yourself in meetings, how you respond when someone challenges you, or how you shrink a little when you have to make a hard call. Imposter syndrome is real, and it hits new managers hard. But here's what's also real. You were given this role for a reason. Someone looked at you and decided you were ready. That didn't happen by accident. You don't have to feel completely confident to start acting like you belong here. The acting comes first, and the feelings catch up later. So start showing up like someone who has earned their seat at the table, because you have. But even when you're working on that internally, there's something else that quietly hurts how your team sees you. And this one builds so slowly you might not even notice it's happening. You say things you don't follow through on. Every time you set an expectation and then let it slide, someone notices. And every time you say this matters and then act like it doesn't, your words start to mean a little less. Trust with a team isn't built in big dramatic moments. It's built in small ones repeated over time. And it's lost the same way. This one is quiet and it builds slowly, but by the time you notice it, your team already has. If you've been inconsistent, even with the small things, start cleaning that up now. Do what you say you're gonna do every time, even if it's inconvenient. That's how you become someone people can count on. Follow through builds trust, but this next one is about what happens in the moments when that trust is tested directly. You avoid conflict to keep the peace. When something goes wrong on your team, what do? If your honest answer is you let it go and hope it doesn't happen again, that's a problem. Because your team notices when you let things slide, and they draw conclusions from it. They conclude that your standards don't really apply, or that you won't actually do anything. And slowly, without meaning to, you teach everyone around you that your expectations are optional. Avoiding conflict doesn't keep the peace. It just delays the mess and makes it bigger when it finally arrives. The managers people take seriously are the ones that address things early, directly, and without making it a big production. And it's not because they enjoy hard conversations. It's because they care more about the health of the team than avoiding an uncomfortable 5 minutes. That willingness to step in, that's what builds real authority. Now, this next one is sneaky, because it actually looks like confidence on the surface, but it's quietly working against you. You doubt your own decisions. When someone pushes back on a decision you made, do you hold your ground or do you immediately start second-guessing yourself out loud? Because your team is watching for that. If you fold every time someone expresses an opinion or you over-explain every call you make like you're asking for approval, people start to wonder if you actually know what you're doing. And it's not because your decision was wrong. It's because the way you're carrying it signals that you're even unsure about it. Confidence doesn't mean being rigid. You can take feedback and change course whenever it makes sense. But there's a difference between being open-minded and being a pushover. When you make a call, make it and own it. If you need to, explain your reasoning once and then stand behind it. Even if it turns out to be wrong, your team will respect a decisive manager far more than an uncertain one. This last one is worth ending on because it's the most visible one to your team, even if it feels small to you. You're still acting like one of the team. There's a version of you that wants to be the approachable manager, the one who gets it, and the one people actually like talking to. And that's not a bad instinct, but there's a line. And a lot of managers don't realize they've crossed it until the damage is already done. You can be warm and approachable and still be the manager, but there has to be a quiet, consistent boundary that reminds people you're not just a peer anymore. Your team needs to like you and respect you. When you only chase the first one, you usually lose both. Being taken seriously as a manager doesn't automatically come with the title. It's built through consistency, follow-through, and being willing to show up even when it's uncomfortable. And every single thing we talked about today is within your control, starting with how you see yourself in the role. You already have the job. Now it's just about growing into it. And the fact that you're watching this and asking these questions, that already tells me you're the kind of manager who's gonna figure it out. If this one resonated with you, go watch this video next. It builds right on top of what we just covered. And if you want more real talk about leadership, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.